You know, it was really interesting. Suddenly, we've become tough. And we just were learning and learning and learning and learning. And I said, you know, when are we going to flip a switch and talk about how to win versus just trying to please and trying to run the system and trying to learn and kind of letting ourselves off the hook a little bit, you know. And boy, it just sort of happened. They came back from Christmas, I thought, and that they had too much Christmas turkey and they looked really just out of shape and not committed, and I was just furious. So you know, we sort of got out of our own way and just started doing things harder, better, with more intention, and it showed up. I think it was, what did we play? Bethune-Cookman, who's not a bad team, and we made them look pretty bad, and then got ready for that Duke game, which, you know, you're just not, this particular team, our team, we're not going to win pretty. You know, last year's team, I think, wanted to win pretty a little bit. We wanted a little bit aware of, you know, our own stats and stuff, but this year's team is just like, what do we need to do to compete and to be a player in the ACC race? And that's been fun. You know, our upperclassmen are, you know, when we came back from Christmas, I had the upperclassmen do film with me first, and I lit into them about, what are you waiting for? What are you doing? Like, I don't see your purpose. I don't see your intention. I don't see your effort. I don't see your focus. You know, 3 of our top 4 scorers are freshmen, and that's fine if that's reality, you know, but what are you doing? Like, impact this team, and this is it, you know, this is the second half of the season. And in that meeting, I saw a real shift. And so my freshmen are talented, but we should not be led by them. I mean, if they lead us in categories, that's fine, but they should not be leading us. And now our upperclassmen are leading us. I think they heard the message.
Who really has been in that group that has kind of stepped up and hearing that message?
Well, Erica and Amesa, you know, are already they're captains with Laura. And I know Laura and Kayla have been leading from the sideline like crazy. But Erica and Amesa, you know, Mesa was working on her game, and Erica's having to double her averages, so she didn't have time to, you know, and it's not selfish, it's just self-aware. I mean, Mesa's working through her ankle and Erica's working through a completely new role, so they didn't have time to do, but now they've transformed. They feel good about their games. I think they both were in a great rhythm last night, and so they're able to sort of transcend themselves and push us to the next level. But and then Shanice Bailey has just been a great story. I mean, the kid is just one of your hardest working kids is having success, doing the little things and the gritty things, and chasing down plays. You know, she passed 3 of her teammates 3 times last night in defensive transition because the 3 teammates just weren't running as hard as her to save us from a breakaway layup for Notre Dame. I mean, the effort's just ridiculous. And so she's getting rewarded with a ton of playing time.
What did you learn, even though you lost a game like that, seeing them play the way they played, leading a team up there in the environment you were in against Notre Dame? What did you learn from the team?
You know, it was funny because when we were fresh and Notre Dame was when both teams were fresh, we were beating them, you know, and then it was those lulls in the mid third quarter and the mid second quarter where we kind of lose our focus a little bit. You know, we didn't go to our bench as much as we've had. And so, you know, somebody like Amesa played 33 minutes last night, and she's been not at 20. So did she have a couple of missed shots that yeah, she did. And Notre Dame wasn't fresh in different moments. But at the end of the game, their mental alertness just got us. I mean, we kind of lost our brain a little bit, and Notre Dame could be tired and maybe a little bit lazy, but mentally they outthought us a little bit towards the end there. But, you know, it was a great basketball game. I'm usually, you know, if I'm a little bit happy after a loss, like not devastated after a loss, I go, well, when I watch the film, I'll be, you know, out. But when I watched the film, we had some very inexperienced people making inexperienced mistakes in crucial moments, but I just don't think they'll happen again. There's a lot of people there, and it was a big moment, and we played with intention. We wanted to get the ball inside. We got the ball inside. We wanted to do certain things on defense. We did what we wanted to do. So to play hard and with intention, to be, you know, with so many new faces, that was great.
How much have those freshmen grown up, and how much how confident do you feel that they're ready to handle now the challenges that come in as we really get into ACC play?
Well, I'll take someone like Kelsey Marshall, who, you know, initially came in here as her role was to hit 3-point shots. She's a prolific scorer. We needed to do that. Defense wasn't her thing. You know, it wasn't. And then I couldn't really insist on it because we had some upperclassmen that really could play defense, but they weren't hitting their threes. So Kelsey got to have this little cupcake role of I run around, I don't have to get dirty, I don't have to dive on the floor, and I run around and I find my shot and I get to shoot it. And I can shoot when I touch it. And she did get to have that role. But as our bodies are getting back and we're getting better and we have more depth and everything else, Kelsey got challenged. And last night, Kelsey was making the defensive drops. She was boxing out. She made a stunt steal, which was a really high-level thing from the scouting report. She flooded inside in transition. And she was 1 for 4, and it was her best game. And so that's where we're at right now, that I could look Kelsey Marshall in her face today. And, in her mind, she probably thought, oh, no, I didn't hit my shots. And I thought, that's your best game of the year. So that's what I'm excited about. How good are they? They're 7 that they have healthy are very good. And I think our frustrating part was, and this is not a comment on the officiating, it was just a complete strategy of ours. We were intending to get the ball inside. We were intending to create fouls. We were intending to generate fouls. And they got to the line twice as much as us. And I don't believe that was their intention. So that was the frustrating part for me, because if we could have just gotten into their bench a little bit. Their top 7 are all McDonald's, and they're all great. We played 8 and 9, and they got to get away with only playing 7. And that, we were trying to generate getting into their 8 and 9, because our bench is much better than theirs.
How's Laura's recovery been?
She's great. She's great.
I mean, I know she's been active and
right.
vocal, but, how frustrating.
So Laura is brutally honest. I mean, there's sometimes she hurts your feelings, but she's right, She doesn't sugarcoat anything. So after games, when I turn to Laura, I talk to my coaches, but I always have my little time with Laura. And after every game, she's been unforgiving. Just, I can't believe this. This coach. After last night, she grabbed me. She said, I am so proud of my team. She's like, I am so proud of them. She's like, Coach, we fought. We did some dumb things, but it was new moments for new people. And, she was really positive, and she's really proud. But she's fighting. She beat me in horse. We play horse on every away game, and she's beating me consistently now. So she's back. She's back.
Anything else?
Can you talk about Sunday's game? What do you expect from?
Yeah, this is the team that I think most people would have Wake above us at the beginning of the year. I'm not sure. I put them pretty high, too. They return a lot. And you just think Wake Forest had nice success last year, returned most everybody. We had great success and didn't return a lot. And so if you put this head-to-head at the beginning of the year, I think it would be advantage Wake. They're playing very well. They're a great offensive team. They got really dynamic scorers. So it's going to come down to – it's going to be a very close game. And our players are just in there watching film, and they have our attention. They really can battle. They're electric. Their scores are electric. So we're going to have a great defensive effort. And, if we can execute offensively like we did last night, it'll make a difference, because we can't. They've got great talent and great depth.
At the beginning of the season, before we started, at the beginning, first week or something, you said how you really didn't know what this team looked like.
Mm-hmm.
You had like a million drawings and your booklets and all that stuff. Where are they now compared to where you thought they would be going into the ACC season? Is it a better team than you thought you might have?
Yes, I really do. I really am impressed with my upperclassmen and because at the beginning of the year, I just they just couldn't find the rhythm. They just were off their games. They were pressing. They were trying to be somebody they weren't, and so now I think they're really, really comfortable with their role. I just got to tell you, India Banks looked like a fifth-year senior in that Notre Dame game. I mean, she is so composed. 6 assists against a high-level defensive team, and just really moving the ball well. And so I think India, in recruiting, I didn't feel like India would be that player for us. I thought she'd be a wing, that would generate a lot and be like a flyer, like a Kiki Harris. I didn't think India would be leading and controlling a basketball game like she did last night. And I'm telling you, the other coaches in the league, Meier is scoring a ton and really electric, and she jumps out on you on film, but the other coaches in the league are like, that Banks is special, and she really is. She really, really is smooth. So that's her teammates want to play with her. She's a great facilitator, so.